Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, James Protin. Every week I will be sharing the experiences that have defined my journey and talking with people who have their own powerful story to tell. It's about doing better and being better in life, business, and all things in between. The visually inclined can catch us on YouTube, or you can check us out on just about every podcast platform. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're coming at you again from a remote location that we're checking out at COhatch in the waterfront, and we're open. We found a home here, and I'd like to welcome to the show right now our host here, Lannette McWilliams.
Well, hi. How are you doing?
Oh, wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thanks for having us here. This
Absolutely.
is wonderful.
Yeah, this is our waterfront location. This is our first location.
Okay.
So it opened back in February of 23. So a little year, almost 2 years coming up, I guess. Yeah. So we're super proud of it. Lots of flexibility in this space. The doors behind us open up to make a big open area that can be used for everything from networking to kids parties to, work events, things like that. So
we must talk about COhatch first. But,
Sure.
I love this because I actually attended an event here a couple of weeks ago, and it was all open, and there were probably 100 people in the space.
Yeah.
And it was very comfortable. Everybody, as far as mingling and flow and things like that, it really, really works.
Yeah, and most of our locations are built where the kitchen's kind of the meeting space, just like your house. Everybody wants to hang in the kitchen, even if it's like a 6x9 little space, right? So especially this building, all the offices and meeting rooms kind of surround in a circle. And then, so you have that meet by accident kind of collision. So it's, an engineered collision on purpose.
Yeah.
But no, it's great because, we've had up to 300 people in this building for events.
Nice.
100 is nice because you can still hear each other and things like that.
It was a really good, it was a really good fit.
Space even for the small ones. We had an event in here through the Beauty Boost a couple days ago, actually, and there was a bunch of different vendors and, so the ladies could shop and, some Reiki and all kind of things. So there's all kinds of stuff that we have here, you name it. If you ask me, we've probably had something like it, and if not, I'm probably going to say, oh, well, let's check that out.
Nice.
Nice. So it's a nice and flexible space. And of course, to work in, too. It's not just about the fun.
Seems
stuff.
like it. Because the offices are really, they're private. They have the glass and everything, but, it really seems to work. If you just need a small space, you don't really need a permanent brick and mortar space. This would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah, because then you're not paying your utilities and all that kind of stuff. You can just come and focus on work and let us worry about the rest.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell me about Lannette. How did you get to COhatch? Because what I know about you is, your background isn't in anything like this. It's something completely over here.
Completely different. So I started in healthcare, I'll say many years ago. I'm not going to say how many because that'll age me. Most of my career was in hospice, in a leadership role. So I loved hospice. Towards the end of my hospice career, my mom had passed away. So, that changes, for sure.
Absolutely.
But anyway, in the midst of it, I had gone into some skilled nursing and home health, and that's when the pandemic hit, and I got laid off, and we were affected pretty significantly financially. So I decided to, we kind of got through that for 6 months or so. Then I decided to go back to school because I had a bachelor's from Carlo. And, a lot of the younger folks were coming through with masters. And I had all the experience, but just not on paper.
Right.
So initially that was my thought of going back for my master's. Then I found Grand Canyon University. They're a very faith-based university.
Familiar.
I really loved their mission. Even though all of it was going to be online, we actually prayed for each other during each class. It was a really awesome experience.
It's really cool.
Yeah, but so anyway, so I started through that, and about 7 months left. So I did a dual master's, so it took me about 2.5 years to finish. So about 7 months left. I started getting these like little pings from LinkedIn, like, hey, apply to this, and those little quick apply type things.
Sure.
I don't know, 3-4 times. And in my head, I'm sitting there like, I don't want to apply for jobs. I am working on my master's. I work on homework all the time, So I think it was the 5th time I finally paid attention and did the quick apply. And it seemed like 10 minutes later. I'm not really sure that that's accurate. But one of our founders contacted me, and I had no idea what co-working was. I had never heard of it. I would have loved to use co-working in my healthcare career because I had visited a lot of coffee shops and restaurants to find a place to sit and work. So anyways, they contacted me, and I wasn't nervous at all because I really didn't understand like what it all was.
Right.
So anyway, we hit it off is the very short story of it. And I found out their mission, they're very faith driven, and it's all about giving back to the community. Our motto is work, meet, live. We truly mean that.
Right.
So anyway, when we discussed where the locations would be, because nothing was open yet, not all of them had started construction yet either. And then I realized that there was a tie to where Southside is for my family. And so, kind of seemed meant to be anyway.
Joe, I don't know if Nick was in here, and for our audience as well, but tell the story about your familial connection with the South Side and how that all played out. And that was coincidence. That wasn't something you brought up.
I had no idea. So they said, hey, we're going to open in Southside Works. And I said, wait, Southside? Where in Southside Works? And they said, where the old Sir Latab used to be. And of course, I'm a big shopper, so of course I was like, wait, Sir Latab's gone. And again, normally I would never say that on an interview, but I was kind of shocked at that. So I said, so if you hire me, I will tell you why that's very important. I have just a little bit of family history down the South Side. So after they hired me, I did tell them the story. But the story is that the Ormsby family is my family. So all the streets off of Carson Street, all the girls' names, Mount Oliver, Ormsby Park, that's all my family. So John Ormsby served not only in the Revolutionary War, but the French and Indian War. And that's when he was awarded all the land for Southside, Mount Oliver, and part of Carrick is what it is today, for his service from King Edward III. So it was funny because COhatch actually knew not that it was a tie to me, but they knew that.
They knew the story. They just didn't know the shit.
Right. So when we went to do Southside, because it was the third location to start construction, there's a wall. It's called the Welcome Wall. So my family name is on our Welcome Wall. It was supposed to be like the cabinet sits here and the words kind of like scroll up. And it's a bunch of other Pittsburgh words like Mr. Yuck and all that. Mr. Yuck, everybody remembers Mr. Yuck. So when I met the design team and saw the design plans, I was like, so do you think we could just push the words up a little? So we did. We put the cabinet like all the way back and pushed the words up. So it's kind of cool. If you get a tour from me, you get to hear the whole story of Southside down in Southside Works.
That is very cool.
So anyway, I've always kind of felt that my career has just prepared me for this job. So
and you just totally by accident
just totally
stumbled into it.
Well, it's probably more divine intervention than I realized, but yes, definitely just totally by accident, and sometimes they always say that's the best. It's always the best thing. Like even like when you're meeting people, you're like, oh, this is by accident. Well, maybe it really isn't.
Really? I think God was tapping you on the shoulder. It took 5 times for you to respond, but and this organization has a big faith component, and it's giving back and all those things, and that really just kind of made it an easy transition.
It did. It was kind of it's. Looking back, I can see, okay, I found the school that I really should have been at, and then that just led me into COhatch, and now we get to help all these nonprofits and small businesses. So I just get to learn. I learn so much every day, and and just the interactions we get from everybody. I mean, we have all kinds of industries within and outside of our walls, and it's really great because I like connecting people too.
Yeah, that is really cool. I mean, your mission really fits COhatch mission with ours and what we do with the podcast. And I think that's really cool that we're able to kind of bring these things together. So we are going to be filming. We're filming here today, and we're going to be next Friday in Shady Side, at your Shady Side location.
Yeah.
And that's actually hard to say, Shady Side location.
Shady
and
Side.
Then the following Friday at Southside Works.
Yeah.
So we're going to have some of our, usual guests in, but also weave in some of your what do you call them, clients?
Our members.
These members?
Yeah. So it's been fun to, check and see, who would like to be a part. So we'll focus on a few that not only are just regular members, but are, we call them our impact scholars because we try to make an impact. Yes, it's that simple. But so one is the Give Scholars, which is our nonprofits, trying to give back to them and then boost you up for the small businesses. So we'll get to meet those folks in the future. Cool. Yeah. And then you get to see the space. So,
that's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, and that's something that you're really, really good at. So another thing that you and I share in common is Rotary. We're both members of the Pittsburgh Rotary Club, the city of Pittsburgh. And there's a large, pretty big influence in, and I can see it in the way, we both have it, the way we interact. It's kind of a common theme with Rotary.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely
service above self.
Service above self. Yeah. So, and the thing I love about Rotary is it's not like any other networking group that you go to. Sometimes you go to different networking groups and you're seeing the same person at like 6 of them.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's definitely, you can tell that service is definitely key and front in their mind.
Right.
A lot of networking things. And I love all of the networking things we go to, but a lot of it's, who am I going to meet? Things like that. This is like, how can we make an impact, and where are we where are we going to be productive to make an impact, and how can we do that? And not just one person,
It's really cool. And I'm new to Rotary, and it's been a great experience because I've met some really amazing people already. And the funny thing is, Dr. Stephanie Yurchik, who's the president of Rotary International now, who's local. She's been on the podcast. We're from the same area, grew up kind of at the same time, and she really embodies that whole thing. She's amazing.
Yeah. I've met her once, so
that's the kind of leadership you find. She came from the borough of California, little California, a small club with not that many members, and now she's the president overseeing, I guess, like 1.8 or 1.9 million people, Rotarians worldwide. It's like,
well, and I think it's great with the Rotary. You can literally go to any Rotary in the world if you're visiting. We had a gentleman from Germany. I was discussing my son and how he was going to Germany over the summer, and he's like, listen, if he ends up going to school there, you have him look me up. Me and the family will watch after him. So that was
amazing.
Really
is that?
That was, I mean, when else is that going to happen? You know,
it's very cool, and it is. You know that you're walking into a room where the people are of like mind, and professional people who are looking to make a difference in their community.
Yeah,
and it's really easy.
Yeah,
it's really easy to make a difference.
Yeah,
you don't have to. A lot of people are like, I can't. What am I going to do?
Right.
Right. It's amazing how little things add up.
For sure.
And again, this place here. Well, listen, I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to talk to you again at the other 2 locations. Our podcast July vacation tour is continuing this morning at another lovely COhatch location, this time in the Shady Side neighborhood of Pittsburgh. And joining us again to talk a little bit about this location is Lannette McWilliams. Welcome.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Good, this is another great space.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah, I love our Shady Side location too. I love it, little pieces of all of them. But this is great. We have 4 floors. It's my currently only multi-level location. So we actually have a basement / lower level. It's kind of the fun, game area. It's got a pool table and gaming machines, and so work hard up here, and then at the end of the day, go downstairs.
Take a little break. Yeah.
Take a little break. Yeah.
Cool.
So it's been really fun over at Shadyside because we've really been able to help Walnut Street. We're on Walnut Street. Really help the other businesses because our folks. That's part of how we make an impact is by helping where we're physically located too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. We went down to Brugger's and got Nick and I a bagel, and it's a really cool little street. Everybody's friendly. I mean, this is these little neighborhoods like Shadyside, even though it's Pittsburgh, it's in own individual little neighborhood, which is really
absolutely
cool.
And it's so not everybody wants to work straight through. They might want to do a little shopping or get on the street to the card place and things like that. So,
yeah. I think Nick's going to go down as soon as we're done to the corner and buy a Rolex. So
there you go.
But
I know John. So before you go,
there you go. So we interviewed earlier this morning one of your members, Tyrone Lewis, amazing young man who's doing some really cool stuff with the this ginger beer, Jackwater ginger beer is really cool, and he really had a lot of good things to say about this location and how this impacted and helped them along on their business journey.
Yeah, so part of we actually have an impact program. There's a Boost Scholarship or a Give Scholarship. So he's part of our Boost, and the Boost helps small businesses or new businesses literally get them a boost. So they get a scholarship for our space, up to, if they're 3 years and younger. Of course, he just started last year, the end of last year, I think so.
Yeah.
It helps them, meet with clients they need. They were under construction. They didn't have a place yet. We've gone to his grand openings and things. So, and a lot of our members have helped support him too. So we're actually, when he starts canning beer, we're going to start putting it in our Coke machine.
There's 4 cans in the refrigerator already. It's the non-alcoholic version, but he brought 4 cans, so we're over in the fridge. That is real cool. So what is the gift membership?
So Give is for our nonprofits. So anyone's a 501c3, that kind of follows our mission as well. We like to help give back to the community, but not only literally where we sit, but for nonprofits that are making a difference, and kind of go on, our values as a company too. So
Why COhatch Shadyside?
So COhatch Shadyside's great. It's because the setup's a little differently. It never feels full. So with the 4 floors, we do have 33 offices here. So we do have a couple offices left. So our other 2 locations are almost full. So we're hoping Shadyside fills up soon too, which I'm sure it will. And but anyway, the nice thing with here is there's so many little nooks and crannies, and it's totally a different feel from upstairs to downstairs. There's tons of natural light here, which is what I love.
Yeah, this is amazing.
But not everybody is, that person, so we do have our lower level, and, plenty of areas down there that, people can kind of tuck away, or we've done different things with different groups have come in for like a storyboard kind of, or vision boarding days. We've done different retreats. This is the perfect location for that. So lots of times I've had them move from like room to room. Like maybe they start out up here, and then they go to a different meeting room, maybe end up in the lower level at the end of the day, and just kind of chill and play the games and things like that. It's fun to see like what attracts to each location, because sometimes it's a little bit different,
Right.
But then our members have access to all 3 locations as well as all the COhatches.
That's important.
Yeah, so that's important. And the 3 of them are close enough together, even though, everybody in Pittsburgh doesn't want to cross a river or bridge. But we do have members that go to all 3, which that's why, we started with 3 so that they have access to like the movie theater at Waterfront or the game room here, So, it gives them a little flexibility too. Not everybody's clients are in Shadyside. Maybe, your client is down at Southside or down at Waterfront. There's definitely perks to each one, and it's a lot of fun. It's
That is very cool. We are we're in the final stretch of our summer vacation, and we are here at COhatch in the Southside Works. We've been to all 3 locations and hosted by Lannette McWilliams. And thank you so much for hosting us on our summer vacation.
Sure. It's truly been a pleasure. It's been fun to see how our space gets integrated in a different way again.
It's awesome. Right? What a really cool thing. You know, I've heard of co-working spaces, COhatch and all of the other ones, but I really didn't dive into it until we started doing this.
Yeah, and I always tell people, there's a multitude of different types of competitors. We'll say nothing's quite the same as us, but I always say until you get here and walk around and really see what it's about, then you'll understand. So,
and this location is huge.
It is. It's 17,000 square feet. This is my largest one in Pittsburgh. So, yeah. And
this is the south side. This is where McCormick and Schmick were. Right?
Yeah, so where we're sitting used to be McCormick and Schmidt. They went out during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So this location actually used to be 3 different places. It was the Sur La Table store, the old kitchen store. It was in the front. Sure. And then the Penn store was on the other corner. Penn store's still around. It's just in a different spot.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So Southside Works, this is, do you get kind of bogged down or caught up in all of the activity? I mean, because, Cheesecake's factory's right across the street. Yeah. There's a lot of moving parts.
There's a lot of moving parts. It's great foot traffic. There are a lot of events. Waterfront does as well. Mm-hmm. So that's the nice part of being part of Southside Works or part of Waterfront, because there's a lot of things we can help them with in participation and kind of add to as well. And it's just fun. For example, they moved the neighborhood flea. Used to be down off of Smallman Street somewhere. Okay. Last summer, I'm not sure how long they've been doing it, but now they're up here. So they come once a month in the summer, and there's hundreds of people that are up here. So that's always fun to see right out the windows.
Cool.
Yeah,
that is very cool.
Yeah.
So what is there that you want our audience to know about COhatch? Is there anything that we haven't touched on that you guys do here in the community?
Yeah, so we're very involved in the community in many ways, mm-hmm. whether it's helping our, sometimes it's just as basic as being here because all the businesses that are here will shop out there. So that, that's good for everyone. But we also, I talked a little bit about the impact program last time. Mm-hmm. So we do have a Boost scholarship, which is for startup companies, but we also have nonprofit, which is our Give scholarship. Okay. So the Give scholarship is for any 501c3. Again, it's scholarships out, scholarship co-working type plan. We have a special plan for them. And really just, it just like the Boost is called, it kind of boosts them because they're not paying for internet, they're not paying for coffee, mm-hmm. all that stuff adds up.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
If you figure out how much a cup of coffee costs around us, right, from different places. But yeah, and then that way we can support, what's near and dear to our hearts or even the members' hearts. I always tell people, like, if you have a nonprofit that you're very passionate about, let us know. Sometimes we can partner up and, mm-hmm. Maybe do something, even if it's around the holidays. It doesn't have to be around the holidays. But and lots of times that's how we get referrals is, one nonprofit knows another one. And they're like, hey, come down and check us out. So and then we do different events for our scholars themselves. So throughout the year with different events. So.
And we talked to Laura from Vibrant Pittsburgh earlier this morning.
Yeah, she's one of our scholars, so she's a great person too.
She is a great person, and you made that connection for us, and that was a great connection. It was a really great conversation.
Yeah, good.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And listen, I we've talked about collaborating more in the future. We really have enjoyed this. The spaces are very adaptable and really perfect for what we do here on the podcast. Yeah. So. We look forward to, we won't be on vacation. We'll be a little more, actually have pants on and some other things. But
maybe a sweater later.
Yeah. So, but you'll be seeing us here at COhatch in all 3 locations moving forward. And we're looking forward to it. It's going to be really cool.
I'm really excited. And, just to expand our, little reach that we do and in different ways and see what kind of impact we can make, right?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.